Welcome back to Wrestling Empire booking career on the Nintendo Switch. We have a deadline, but I have a plan. First week of November 2025, we had no show on the air, so we are still at an even 84%. We're aiming for number 1 in this show, still. So no revenue and my 7,000 in expenses, and that's from having those territories. So the more territories you have, the more expenses you have to maintain those territories. 217,000 in the bank. We're going to need it today as we cut some talent, but we failed to take down the southeast portion of the US. It is time to run a hometown show. So here we are in our home territory, and let's do that today. Mr. Perfect renewed his deal at AAW. A cult following in the Philippines in support of Strong Style. We can go there and then head to other areas there. That'd be cool. Next time. Paige back in the ring. Bailey's deal has expired. Oh no, the hugger needs a new deal. Zeus is back in the ring finally. Minoru Suzuki's deal has expired. Mickie James' feud with Paige is over, I guess, since Mickie won that last women's standing matchup. The fans insist on treating HAKU as a face. King HAKU. Edge has arrived at Strong Style Wrestling. Skinner, released by Rising Sun. And Strong Style had to have their average popularity at 75. We're at 73. And I have a plan to deal with that. But listen, Attack Slug. I am Bobby Heenan, the brain. I'm stepping down as booker of AAW. No, I've worked this hard to get this far, Bobby Heenan. I'm not stepping down for Strong Style. I believe that we can go from last place to first place. So while I am flattered, the brain wants me to run AAW. No, I'm happy at Strong Style Wrestling here, thus far. So, you don't have the ambition for AAW. Look, I've come this far. I'm not jumping ship now, brain. Bailey, let's negotiate and keep you on the roster, shall we? Let's say at a 20-week deal. And what if I push you toward a title here in the business, towards that Mickie James as champion? What do you say about that, Miss Bailey? Hey, there we go. 20 weeks more of the hugger. Works for me. Now, Minoru Suzuki, come in the door. You're next up here in Strong Style Wrestling. And Murder Grandpa, what do you say here? You want to re-sign with Strong Style, or I will extend the weeks to 18 weeks. What do you say? Alright, those days are behind me now. So he thinks he's better than Strong Style. Can we renegotiate? What if I paid you a little bit more here on the business for a few more weeks there? 20 weeks, what do you say? Alright, I haven't enjoyed working here. It would take more than that to convince me to stay. Look, man, you're like 45 in this game. So, I guess Suzuki is bailing. Strong Style is no longer Ichiban. That is what it is, but that does change the math on some things. Balor wants McIntyre on the next show. So, I suppose I can make that happen. And sure, keep the talent happy. It's fine. Although, me and Balor still haven't had our proper one-on-one matchup just yet. That's fine. Is what it is. But this show, in our home territory, right, we have 6 matches to book, and I have them all written out here on the card. The math changed with Suzuki leaving, because we were at an overall of 73.80 with our 36 staff. Now we're at 35 staff, and that math changes. But I have plans to release 2 superstars and hopefully hire 1. And the one that I want to hire has an overall of 90, right? But first, I do want to talk to John Cena. Like, I know we can't afford John Cena, but for a thumbnail, it'd be good with the do. Some, YouTube clickbait. Hey, I'm talking to John Cena. But we can't afford John Cena. I know it. You know it. $130,000 on his current contract in Hollywood. Conrad Thompson and your podcast nonsense. Let's make this deal with John Cena. We can't make any kind of a deal with John Cena, so I'm not paying $130,000 out the bank with John Boy here, and that's just not going to happen, so sorry. Sorry, Cena. Not going to happen. Let's forget about it. Thug life, basic thugonomics. But I do want to talk to an overall of 90 in Andre the Giant, who works for 5.9 a week and has 0 weeks on his deal. Therefore, Andre, I'll pay you $6,000 a week. You'll be a special attraction here, not working every week, so a part-time gig. And I think $6,000 a week on a part-time gig for like 30 weeks. And I will give you that, where is it? Part-time, fewer dates. What do you say, Andre? Please sign. I can't give you 30 weeks. So, alright, look, that's fine. We just need to hit 75 overall in our talent. So, I'll bring it down to 18 weeks. What do you say? Nice even number there. I can't give you 18 weeks. How about 10 weeks? Andre, look, I just need to get that deadline for Giant Baba. I'm sure you'll understand. What about 10 weeks? Part-time. I just need... what other assurances you have as a spot for me? You're Andre the freaking Giant. I'll give you favored nations, even though you're the highest paid here in this company. Or would be, if you sign. There we go! Andre has signed. An overall of 90 brings the whole brand up. And he's friends with HAKU. Like, that's factual. Alright, cool. Now, that means our roster now has an overall of still 73. So losing Suzuki and gaining Andre didn't tip those scales enough. We have to fire somebody now, and that is going to be Mr. JBL, who is our lowest rated superstar here, and it's going to cost us money to get rid of him, but, you know, we're going to hold JBL and say, JBL, you got to go. Just a big loser. Let's terminate the agreement here in Strong Style Wrestling. And he wants his 15 grand. I'll give him his 15 grand because we need to hit this deadline. It's very important. There you go. Have it. Like, I made 100 grand, and I'll spend it if need be to keep our business afloat here in Strong Style. Now, with that being said, our overall is now 74. Right? We gotta hit 75. So there's one more superstar we have to get rid of between now and the next 2 weeks. And I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, it's gonna be Needles, who is currently one half of our tag team champions. So that has to get fixed on this show first. So our tag team titles are on the line, despite the fact that Bob Backlund is still very, very injured, and they are still the tag team champions, and they'll be defending against the brand new tag team of a Daniel Bryan and a Mark MERO. And yeah, Backlund not going to make it here, and not even going to get into the ring, I'm pretty sure, in this tag team endeavor. So poor Needles, oh my god, Dynamite to attack slug. Poor Needles, kind of on his own here. And we got MERO, Bryan with Bailey in their corner. Out of the way, old man. We're here to get some new tag team champions on the show this evening, because we don't have much of a choice in the matter, because Needles is dragging this whole thing down. So I'm being forced to defend this belt against 3 other opponents. I mean, technically not, but okay. But there's some kind of a conspiracy here, and the conspiracy is that otherwise, if we don't fire Needles, then Baba can get us shut down and fire me. So my job over your job, Needles. I'm sorry. Look, I'll hire you back later, but it's Daniel Bryan and Mark MERO doing things here with Needles and Bob Backlund. So, I'm sorry to say, that's kind of the reality here of this situation, Mr. Needles, is that D-Bry gonna run through you, and we're gonna have new tag team champions. Hip toss, 1, 2, 3, and we have new tag team champions. He knows it was bogus. He knows it was all a fix and a setup, but I don't have a choice in the matter. I must keep my job here. So no, the match is over. 3, almost and a half. So, look, Needles, nothing personal. I like you. I want to push you. But You are currently the lowest rated superstar here in strong style wrestling. Powerbombs Mark MERO. It is what it is, man. BRYAN to 84 and 89 in attitude. Needles and Backlund damage their profile. And MERO moving on up. And Backlund injured still, not affected by the matchup. Next up, you know it, I know it. Back to business here with a 4 women's elimination matchup. We have the continuing feud, though, of Miss Elizabeth and Molly Holly. So some heat in there, hopefully, but also Bailey and Lita are in the building, and Jeff Hardy in the corner of the lovely Lita. But Miss Elizabeth is in the building. And it's more than just a cup of coffee. You're a long way from home, Miss Elizabeth. You should have stayed in school. You were a big fish in that small pond, the champion in school, but this is strong style. And this is my yard, my fans, and you ain't doing a dang thing here without my blessing. Molly Holly pedigree on Miss Elizabeth. Will that be enough to put her away? It will. Taken out by Molly Holly. 4.5 stars. You love to see it. Powerbomb to Lita. The original to Lita there. And yeah, that should have ended that there. Now it's just Bailey and Molly, and Slug gets kicked on accident. Good lord. 2, 3, and Mighty Molly prevails in that matchup. 5 stars. Status not affected. Molly to 73. Bailey got some credit to 73. And Lita not affected. So hers didn't go down, and we had 2 of them go up. Is that enough numbers to hit our actual number here? We're going to find out eventually. But more matches to book. Next up, a hardcore 4-man shoot fight. It is a Tiger Mask, it is HAKU, it is Raven, and it is Superfly rounding out the bunch. Who is the most hardcore of these 4? We gon' find out. King HAKU newly turned face because the fans wanted to see it, so he's here as a face, and he needs some solid steel in his hand. No, not the bell, the chair. Not the trash can lid, the chair. There we go. We're ready here as Raven has stuff, Mask has stuff, and Slug has stuff, and everybody has some business here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get hardcore. It's a shoot fight. Who's gonna win? Table in the ring rang. Let's get it on. Tiger Mask just beating the hell out of Snuka, who is now eliminated. Now focusing on Raven. What about Raven? Huh? What about him? Filming him, and now I'm hitting him. And Slug kind of in the way here, but what else is new? Springboard from Tiger Mask with the chair to the outside. We have a Moxley and Aubrey on commentary as Tiger Mask is running wild here with this solid steel chair. No one is safe from the Tiger. Slug needs to count that, but he can't get up from getting hit by the chair, so, you know, there it is, Raven. Now it is just HAKU and Tiger Mask. And a valiant effort, but HAKU could not survive the sheer brutality of Tiger Mask. And HAKU is so tough, he's not affected. Tiger Mask goes up to 76. Raven goes up to 69, and Snuka has gone down to 69. Nice. Meanwhile, Aubrey Edwards with a new theme song. You know what? Sure. I'll give it to you. Take it. If you thought things were over between Matt and Jeff Hardy, you are sorely mistaken. He has not yet been deleted. So, a 4-way. We got McIntyre and Dean Malenko in here, but it is a Matt and Jeff rivalry once again with Luke Harper as the guest referee in this business. And here comes Jeff Hardy. So, yesterday on pay-per-view, it was brother versus brother. and Matt went 2 straight table spots and won that matchup, but it ain't over. Clearly not over. So, Jeff Hardy, I'm surprised you even showed up. 2 tables, you were kaput. The beating I gave you tonight won't be any different. Thez press. Matt Hardy is incensed. Absolutely incensed. And disqualified. He couldn't let it get it past him and gets himself DQ in this matchup. The fire still burns. Malenko has finish. No one expects Malenko to do anything in this matchup, but yet he is here with his finisher on Jeff Hardy. Codebreaker on Jeff Hardy. Knocks down Drew, and that's the wrong person to pin, and totally botches that endeavor. Does the Iceman. 1, 2, Malenko is gone. So a hell of an effort there. And now it's just Drew with the Claymore to Jeff Hardy. And Drew's health is not doing great here, but neither is Jeff Hardy. And a 1 and a 2. And the Claymore didn't get it done, unfortunately, for Drew. This time, Drew hitting that German on Jeff Hardy. 2, 3. Proving why he is still a former strong style champion. Jeff Hardy was damaged from that attack from Matt Hardy early on in the match, from that trash can lid and the DQ, and therefore he loses the matchup. But gets some credit being there in the end. Matt Hardy down to 74, Drew up to 80, and Dean Malenko not affected. Meanwhile, Needles, you read my mind. You read my mind. Absolutely. Yes. Because you have no idea what's going to happen to you at the end of this show. So yes. Sure. On your own, Needles, in more ways than one. I'm sorry. Next up, the TV title is on the line. And KANE is in this matchup. And that means that KANE and Cody, who are a tag team, are going to have to fight each other along with the debuting Rated R Superstar Edge and Finn Balor in this matchup. But that's gotta be KANE. How will it work out? If KANE wants gold and Cody holds that gold, it might not work out for the Code Man who just defended against Dean Malenko on the pay-per-view with KANE as the ref. But what if KANE wants his own singles championship? Then what? Huh? Can you believe this, KANE? Who booked this? Who booked this match and put us in this ring together? It could get awkward, but I can't go easy on you just because we're friends. I also want to be a singles champion in strong style wrestling. So can you retain that belt here, Cody, but don't discount the involvement of Edge in this matchup. KANE has adrenaline. Will he chokeslam anybody here? Will he tombstone Edge with a tombstone pile driver and a 2 and a 3? Edge is out due to KANE and his finisher. Cody and Balor are still in this matchup somehow, some way, and Cody wants a piece of the big purple machine. Balor chokeslam to the outside and a leg dropped by Purple KANE. Good lord, that was ridiculous. Just wants no more pieces of KANE because KANE is just that good. But Cody now fighting for his championship against the monster KANE. Can he retain that TV title? Lariat from KANE. And KANE, your new TV champion, beating his friend and tag team partner, Cody Rhodes. What's going to happen to that tag team? Poor Cody down to 81. KANE up to 85. And Edge went down to 76. And Balor and Cody are now friends? Okay. And last up, our world title on the line in a solid steel cage. The new champion, Psycho Sid, must defend against Randy Orton, Kenny Omega, and Jon Moxley in that cage. It should be brutal, if nothing else, and hopefully a 5-star main event in our hometown show, filling up this building, if you will. But the former champion Randy Orton is here, and not pleased that he lost the title and wants it back. So one of these 4 men will end our evening being the champion, and Needles, perhaps a threat here with Dynamite on the announce table. I don't know, perhaps he knows what's going to happen here at the end of this show. I do not know. But we're heading towards that ending very, very shortly. So, Randy Orton. There is nowhere to run, Sid, in this solid steel cage. You can't hit your finish to the outside again in the cage. And only one of us is getting out of here in one piece. So I do believe, you're locked in here with me, I do believe that loss was caused by that jackknife to the outside in the matchup yesterday. But here we go. We also have Mox and Kenny to worry about in this contest. It is again a 4-man elimination style matchup. Randy Orton has finish. What is he waiting for? What is he waiting for? The RKO out of nowhere on Jon Moxley. Is that enough? He wants Sid though, and Sid is trapped in the clutches of Kenny Omega. Will Sid tap out in this matchup? Randy Orton no longer has finisher. They're waiting. They're waiting. That camel clutch is in so deep. But Sid is just that tough. There it is. There it is. Sid knocked out. Kenny has adrenaline. Kenny, by God, Omega, and Sid here. Kenny, pedigree on Sid. 5 stars, man. All around, 5 stars on Kenny. By God, Omega gets pinned by Randy Orton. It is now Randy and Moxley are your final 2 in this matchup. One of these men will be your new strong style champion. Who's it going to be as Kenny leaves to go fight Sid some more on the outside? Those 2 have a date with destiny. 2, 3 regains his world championship, does Randy Orton. Once again, world champion is Randy. There we go. Congratulations. Sid went down because he lost the title. Jon Moxley got some credit in the end, and Omega, part-time, not affected. Strong style 8,851 in my home territory. New record, new high for the company. But we're not going to submit our tape just yet. We're still at 74, which means the unfortunate reality now is, I'm sorry, Needles, but you are an overall of 62. You have to go, man. 20 weeks, that's going to be like 20 grand to cut his contract, but we need to please Giant Baba to keep my job running Strong Style Wrestling. So yes, 20 grand to get you out of here, Needles. Look, I'll hire you back later. Don't worry, I'll bring you back. But right now, gotta go for a bit. So 20 grand to Needles hurts our bottom line, but he can't complain about getting paid for nothing. So yes, sit home for a bit, Needles. Sit home for a bit. That makes us, hopefully now, we're still 74. All right, look, we have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks. Let's end our card. Let's submit here and see how things go with this broadcast. What is our current rating in the world? What do we have? Still number 3, up to 86. We were so close to AAW. We're so close. That brings us $88,000. We spent 62 plus expenses here of about 8.2 and made back up that money that we lost, which is awesome. So we gave Needles 20K and made it back in the gate at the house. We still, though, are not at 75. So that means we had our new thing there, right? They like us over here in the Philippines, right? So we're going to fly here, and then we're going to fly from Philippines, flying to Thailand, that loves intruders and does not like the ladies. That is our show for tomorrow. Wrestling Rev have conquered Maple Leaf Grappling in Nigeria. Devon upset. Drew is not available for this show. Andre wants exposure. He's very costly to use. The Hart Foundation defeated Bobby Eaton, rest in peace, and Monsoon as the new champions of Maple Leaf Grappling. Macho Man and Typhoon defeat Becky Lynch and CM Punk in Fetty Online. Weekend Warriors are up because of Brock Lesnar. Strong Style got a hit 75. We're at 74. And Baba. Wait, what? I'm at 74. Look, you give it to me. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. I'll take it. 10 grand. Hell yeah. That 10 grand almost makes up for firing JBL. So they want Mickie James in Rising Sun. Mickie James is my champion. So no, you can't have Mickie James. That's not going to happen. You aren't taking my title and putting it in the trash, Bruiser Brody. No, not for sale. Well, what would you say to he's increasing the price? No! Dude, it's not happening. Oh my god. Let me exit the menu. I've been sitting here for an hour and 15 minutes. Finally. We'll just wait. We'll just wait. I can always re-sign her. Relax. And so, even at 74, as long as Baba is happy, we no longer have a deadline, and we continue our run towards #1 in this beardness